Or to say, hey guys, it's Klaus. How are you all doing this morning? How are y'all? How are y'all doing on this fine spring morning? Are you getting ready to go out and enjoy the day or go to work? Or are you watching this in the evening? Or what's going on, guys? Hey, let's start it off. Leave me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you are up to today. What am I up to? I just got up. I'm having my coffee. And I decided to just do a video for you guys, of course. What else would I do in the morning for my favorite subscribers? Well, my favorite fans, or all of you guys that are watching. What are we going to watch today? Let's watch a Frontline game. And it's just any old game. I just picked any old one, not one where I dominated or did fantastic or whatever. But let's talk about Frontline. You guys been playing Frontline? And then I get a lot of you have probably, oh, I'm a little tongue-tied this morning. A lot of you have tried this new mode, right? What do you guys think of it? Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think of Frontline. I guess it's in the game temporarily is what I hear. But I'm going to give you my no bullshit opinion because that's what we do here while you watch. And I guess in this game we are attacking. That's all I'll tell you. I'm in my progetto. There I go. What are the pros? Okay, here's my opinion. The pros and cons of Frontline. Let's start with the pros, okay? The pros, well, immediately you look at it and there's one big, huge map here. It's the equivalent of what, like 9 maps? Newly made maps. You see there's these 9 different quadrants. I'm on the southeast quadrant here. And hats off to the developers that created this basically 9 new maps, right? And the key here is, because this is an attack defense mode, is that the maps don't necessarily have to be symmetrical. Some of the problems of maps being added and removed, and you check the stats on certain maps, and there's always a higher win rate on a certain map if you spawn on the north or the south, and you don't really have this problem because in this mode you don't have to there's not 2 caps and you have to fight it out, so it's not like one side or other is overpowered. It's an attack. You're going to attack or you're defending, so the maps seem pretty good. There's a lot of positions to attack from and defend from, and you learn the map, and I mean it's pretty cool. It's a big, huge, freaking map. What else can I say? Number 2, it's tier 8. And isn't it refreshing to roll out in your favorite tier 8 tank and not just be in a tier 10 game? That is right there. So we have somewhere to play tier 8 tanks. That's a big, huge bonus. And you can play your tier 8 premium tanks. So a lot of these tanks that I've never played for months and months and months now, because who wants to play a STA or whatever that premium tank is, or I can't even remember the names of my premium tanks because it's been so long since I've taken them out. Who wants to roll out in a tier 8 tank with no armor that does 220 alpha, and then you get in a game and the enemies have 3 object 268 version 4s, a mouse, a type 5 heavy, and then a bunch of tier 8s defenders, and it's just stupid. It's no fun. But look, you get I am getting shot up the ass here and killed in the game because I am aggressively attacking the cap and losing like a muppet. Which leads to the third pro in this game. If you die and play like a muppet at the beginning, you respawn. What's wrong with that? You have multiple lives. The game isn't over immediately when you, like I just did, as you witnessed Claus Kellerman sucking. I get to respawn, and you get to look at the whole map, and there's some strategy here. I'm thinking, where should I go? The line on the right where I was is lost, so I'm not going to go back there. I'll go over here and help these guys. And you can choose a different tank. I guess that's another pro. So there's a lot of pros so far. What else is there? Well, you make a lot of credits in this mode. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but although you have to put in more time, the games they last longer. But you look at the end screens, and at least as you moved up in rank, there was a lot of prizes. When you get to rank 30, you get a day of premium. There was a whole bunch of these crew acceleration and XP and credit accelerating kits and all sorts of things, and prizes and silver, and really good credits, especially if you play premium tanks in this game. And now I've switched to, like, a tank that I wouldn't really play, because I don't want to play this tank in a tier 10 matchmaking. And when I'm on attack and I'm playing this thing, Geronimo, sometimes just going in and killing. And more about the strategy in a second here, but I'm just going to go have some fun here. Did I say the word fun? Like I'm talking about World of Tanks in a mode where you could have some fun? That's probably a pro. Okay, what else is there? Teamwork. This mode, you actually have to have teamwork to win, whether you're defending or whether you're attacking. It's very difficult to carry a game by yourself. You can't attack by yourself. I sucked again. I died. I told you, I'd just show you any game. Just watch the game and have fun. Now look, I'm dead, and I died too quickly, so I have to kind of wait around a bit. But I get to respawn, which was one of the pros, right? Are there any other pros that you guys can think of? There's strategy, there's, what did I say? There's 9 new maps, great matchmaking for tier 8, great credits and prizes. It requires teamwork. If you die, you come back. And I guess all in all, it's a new game mode. It relieves the monotony of just playing, the regular stuff that you play all the time. So it's a welcome addition, and I guess I covered all the pros. I've probably missed some. And I guess the last one is it's actually fun when you get in on a good team. More about that. It's quite fun. All right, what are the cons? I've thought about it for a long time, and there are not a lot of cons that I can think of, except one. And this one, I'm trying not to be, inflammatory rhetoric here, just a straight, no bullshit analysis. And there's one con that really, and this is, the big con is the players. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about the players, the wargaming side, developer side, and then the player side. On the developer side, wargaming, this is fantastic. You've added a new game mode, all those cons, or all those pros that I talked about. But the one mistake that you made is, oh, wait a minute, one more pro is they supplied 2 tanks in your garage, tier 8 frontline mode tanks, the T-32 and the T-44. So anyone could play. That's the other pro. Anyone can play it, even if you're only a tier 4 player, tier 6, or tier, starting. You're not left out. Everyone can play. So they've thought of everything. A huge list of pros there. But the con, which goes hand in hand to everyone being able to play, is when it first came out, you just click Frontline, and then you click Start, and then you can play. That was a mistake, wargaming. Really, in my opinion, the first time that someone clicks this mode and clicks play, it should launch a 2-minute tutorial, 1 or 2 minute tutorial, and I would volunteer to actually do it for you guys, because no end of frustration has been created for me anyway. You launch this game and there's always, I would say, 20, 30, or 40% of the players that are playing have no idea what's going on. None. And I guess it would work itself out if this became a mode. See, look, I'm capping. We're on attack and I'm in a base trying to capture the base. Do you know how many players do not know that that's what you're supposed to do when you're on? They don't even know that there's an attack. More about that in a minute, but just a simple little tutorial that you have to watch for 2 minutes the first time you launch it would have made such a better experience in gameplay for everyone, because anyone can imagine you're a tier 4 player, you've played 2,000 battles, you've got up to tier 4, and there's a new mode, there's a couple of new tanks in your garage, you take one out, you press Frontline, and then this starts, and you haven't read anything about it, no one's told you anything about it, you have no idea what's going on. I mean, you're talking about people that when they play the game have trouble knowing what to do when it's a regular mode, when there's 2 bases, or when they click, sometimes it starts and there's only 1 base. It's an encounter game, and that confuses them. It confuses them enough that they, go to A1 and sit in a bush and wait out the game because, oh, I'm not sure. There's only one base in this game. Sometimes there's two in one. I'm not sure what's going on there. And then they get this mode. They're just, imagine 30 or 40% of players in your game that really have no clue what's going on. So Wargaming, you should have done a little tutorial, and it's just basic one. Let me go through. I could have done it for you. I volunteer to next time you do one of these, just a simple tutorial. Some guy standing there with a chalkboard saying, "Look, welcome to the new mode. This is not the same as the games you used to play. There's two teams. There's an attacking team and a defending team. This is the map. Look, it's big, isn't it? You spawn on one of these quadrants, and the idea, if you're on attack, is to capture the bases that are in the base that's in your quadrant. Once you capture the base that's in your quadrant, you control that quadrant. If you don't capture the base that's in that quadrant, the enemy controls the quadrant, and you will lose. The idea is to capture your base, win the quadrant, and then keep attacking and moving north until you finally move north. And there's some objectives up there, these big guns that you're supposed to shoot and destroy, and you have to destroy 3 out of 5 of them, and then you win. And every time you capture a base, you get more time so that your team has a better chance of winning. If you're on defense, you have to stop the enemy teams from capturing those bases. When you're on defense and you notice that the enemy team is capturing your base, you should try and shoot them to reset. And you lower the capture counter as you reset them. There's lots of other things going on in the game that you will be excited to find out. When you die, you respawn and you get to choose what area of the map you get to go fight. There's different little circles on the map, the yellow ones that you can drive into and repair your vehicle. There's also special abilities that you can unlock, like artillery strikes. So keep that in mind when you play this mode and go out and have some fun. There you go. How long did that take? 2 minutes? And all of a sudden, there's attack, defense. Am I on the attacking team or the defending team? Do I have to capture the base? Oh, I'm damaged. I can go in this little circle and repair myself. Things that you would, you're a Unicom listening to this, right? So you're thinking, come on, Klaus, that's pretty basic. What a waste of time. Well, no, it's not a waste of time because I've played probably 50 of these games, and I'd have to say that 30 out of 50 have been just, it elicits a reaction of rage and frustration when you're on attack and there's a base, and 7 minutes into the game, the 8 heavy tanks that have spawned in your area are still hiding in bushes, waiting to see if some enemies show up. I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Imagine this. Imagine you've joined a tennis club and you're going to play your first game that you signed up. You've got a doubles game, and you show up with your tennis racket ready to go. You walk out onto the court there, and your partner is this man, a really large man wearing a diaper, sitting down on your side of the net with 7 tennis balls, and he's busy gnawing at the fuzz on the tennis balls. He looks up and smiles at you. You look over the net at the people you're going to play, and one of them is at the back. He's got his racket on the ground, and he's standing on his right foot looking down at the racket, and after a few seconds he jumps onto his left foot and looks down at the racket, and then after 3 or 4 seconds he jumps back onto his right foot, and he does this over and over and over again while kind of giggling to himself looking down at the racket. His partner is a woman with 2 teeth, holding her racket, which only has 3 strings on it, and she's using her long nails to pluck the strings. And as she does this, she's bobbing her head up and down, humming to herself. And you're thinking, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. You ask them, hey, have any of you guys played tennis before? And they all kind of look at you and say, well, no, this was just a free game. We're just checking it out. Well, how are you going to enjoy your tennis match? Do you think it's going to be fun? Are you going to well, let me explain it to you. Hey, you guy, maybe you should change out of your diaper and stop eating the balls. Stop gnawing on the balls. We're going to need those. Where's your racket? You forgot your racket? He smiles at you. Racket? What do you mean racket? It's ridiculous, right? And that's what I felt like in this game. 20 times out of 50 have been like that. just a cluster. And this is not Wargaming's fault. I mean, I said one of the cons was they should have had a tutorial, just a 2-minute tutorial. And I think that would have, in 80% of cases, helped some people out that would normally maybe play 3 or 4 times and then say, I don't know, sometimes I die, sometimes we win or we lose. I'm not sure why we won. And they stop playing, they lose interest, or it takes them 15, 20 games. It would have helped those guys figure it out. Probably there's a group, very small group, that it wouldn't have helped. But I think it would have even helped me, because the first couple of games when I went in there, I wasn't quite sure because the first couple of times on attack never made it to the objectives. Had no clue there were objectives because my team didn't cap. So what the hell? We're stuck in Zone A for the whole game and then we lose. What did I learn? Nothing, right? So maybe just a little tutorial. On Wargaming's fault, the con, have a little tutorial. And I volunteer to do it. If you need one done for the next mode, I'll do a 2-minute for free. I think it would be so much of a help. Other than that, bravo. All those pros did that one little thing that could have helped. The biggest con in this game mode is, as in the other game modes, is the players. But it's so much more noticeable in this mode because you must play as a team, which is one of the pros. I believe that's a good thing. But like, you cannot win by yourself. You can't carry a game. You'll get 8 kills. You can't roll out in an Object 268 version 4 and carry the game, even though your team is bad. In fact, in the other modes, you almost hope your team is bad so that you can get more damage if you're a Unicom, right? But you show up here as a Unicom, you know, you're the greatest player, and yeah, you're probably going to get a lot more damage. But if your team doesn't cap on attack, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose, right? So, having said all that, and you've watched me play now, I've taken out strange tanks, like my little light tanks that I probably wouldn't play in regular game. I'm just having fun. And basically, that is the key here. If you've played this, was it fun? Did you have fun? I mean, this is supposed to be all about fun. And the answer, in general, other than the frustration of being on a team of Muppets or even the enemy, you know, when the enemies are Muppets and you just roll over. Other than that, yes, it's been fun because it's new and exciting and fun. It has been fun, so I give it a official Klaus Kellerman vote of approval. Great new mode. The only con is the players, and I wish people that are playing it, if you guys have just started or whatever, before you play it, well, actually, maybe no one's told you, so let me give you a few pointers. If you're on attack, if you've been watching this game, I'm on attack. I've aggressively, in my own way, maybe I haven't played a great game here, but I've moved around, tried to kill people, right? Continually pushing north, because you start at the south if you're on attack, and the object is to capture those bases. And I've capped a couple of times, and you must capture go to the bases and try to capture them so that you can proceed. Once you capture a base, you win that zone and you get more time for your team. And you progress your way north along the map as you capture the zones until finally you get to the northern part of the map here. When you get to the northern part of the map, you have to destroy these objectives. That's what I'm doing now. You see that gun? I'm shooting it. There it is right there. And we've destroyed one. You see, we have to destroy 3 out of 5 of the... A lot of my first, what did I say, 6 or 7 games when I was on attack, I never even got to this part of the map. I didn't know that there were objectives, because we didn't even capture the bases, right? So when you're on attack, go for the bases. Try and capture the base. And this is and kill tanks when you're on attack. And this is what happens. Let's say you start off equal with the enemies, and you kill 3 or 4 enemies. They go and respawn, and that takes them 15 seconds to wait, and then another 20, 30 seconds to drive back. So if you've killed 2, 3, 4 enemies, and they've gone back to regenerate, capture the base. You have an advantage. All of you just get in the base and capture it. So many teams I'm on, we kill 3 or 4 tanks, and then no one goes to the base. You let them regenerate, and they come back and fight, and you're at a stalemate. So the key thing when you're on attack is to capture bases and kill tanks. Or maybe not in that order. Kill some tanks, get an advantage, and then capture the bases. Once you capture the bases, you win the zone. All the enemies have to leave the zone, or they will get artillery striked and killed, because then it is your zone. So capturing the bases is key when you're on attack. Don't just sit in... There was one guy I was playing with, and I was in cap, I think, and he refused to come in the cap. He was sitting way at the back, and I messaged him afterwards, and I said, hey, just a couple of pointers. When you're on attack, you should try and capture the bases. And the conversation didn't go very well. Basically, it ended up saying he was happy with the way he played, and sometimes he wins and sometimes he loses, and I should mind my own business. But okay, so when you're on attack, go for the bases. Very important. One of the best games I played was there was a platoon, 3 guys that were in T-54 modifieds from a good clan, and the game started, and they immediately left their zone and went into the adjacent zone, all 3 of them, thus creating a numerical advantage in that zone, and immediately went for the base, right? So they started probably in B. As soon as the game started, they went to A. They headed straight for A. They typed in chat, we're going to A to outmatch them. I followed them. We immediately had a huge advantage in A. We capped A immediately. It took like a minute. Then all 4 of us, we went straight back to B, capped B. Within 2.5 minutes of the game, just by a little bit of strategy, we had captured 2 bases. That's what's important on attack. Kill some tanks, get an advantage, capture the bases, keep pushing north. Don't sit back and camp and wait to get a little damage when you're on attack, because you'll run out of time and lose. When you're on defense, well, you have to counter that, right? If you rush in aggressively on defense and die and then have to go respawn, if 2 or 3 or 4 of you rush in, die, and then you have to go respawn, a smart attacking team will just cap, because it takes you a minute to, whatever, respawn. Like here, see, now I have to go back, I have to wait, I have to get a tank, I have to drive back. If I was on defense and 2 or 3 of my team, this happened, then the other guys just go cap. So just little strategies like that. So on defense, I like to take positions around the base where I can stop people from capping, or if they go in, I shoot them, or take shots of opportunity. I could show you a defense game, but then this would be like a 30-minute video. When I'm on attack, see, now this is near the end of the game, I have to get back into it, so I pick a fast tank, because I want to get back into it. I'm not going to roll out now in a T-28 prototype, right, because I never get there. So, all in all, enough... how did I talk so much? Holy shit, guys. Are you getting bored of me? I have to give a shout out to all of you guys who have spent so many videos listening to my rantings and ravings. You guys are the best. I get to just talk about stuff. I hope I made some sense. Let's watch me dominate this big stupid tank. Oh, look at this. I don't care about the objectives right now. We're going to win this game. Hello. How are you? The most important thing is have some fun in this mode. Like, if this isn't fun. Oh, it's early in the morning. I'm just having my coffee. Look at this. Look at these 2 tanks. These are 2 Tier 8 premium tanks. One's German and one's French. Target unlocked. I don't need to lock onto you. Let me reload. I'm just rubbing. So I've had fun. This is a good mode. Hats off. You know what? This is so good. I think it's only here temporary. But what I would like to see is that it's not removed, but maybe is cycled through. Let's have Frontline for all Tier 6s for a month, and then Frontline for Tier 7s for a month, and then Frontline for Tier 8s, and Frontlines for Tier 9s, Frontline for, switch it up. Maybe say January's for Tier 6s, February's for Tier 7s, and just cycle through it and keep it in the game. Why not? It'll give you a chance to grind different tanks, build up crew skills, or get some credits, get some XP in different tanks that you maybe don't want to play in regular pub games. Some of the traditionally underpowered tanks you can take out here. Tanks that get shit matchmaking, or just to have some fun, with some of the tiers that don't get strongholds, or spread the fun around. Anyways, great new mode. I'm excited, except for the, I think there should have been a tutorial, but all in all, fantastic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of Frontline. That was my no bullshit opinion, but let me know what you think of Frontline in the comments.